Welcome back, everybody. I have an exciting one for you today. You know it's going to be good when you have a fresh battery and an old abandoned tractor. And I'm a toolbox. I'm a Leatherman. Had to check this. Couldn't put it on my carry-on. What do I mean by that? Well, we're no longer in the States anymore, folks. We are in, for one, they call this building the hangar. Looks like a really big shop. It's about 60 by 100, and it's located in France. Yeah, that's right. Downtown Paris is somewhere in that direction. Eiffel Tower's about right over there. Went there yesterday. She's impressive. A lot of people around there. Didn't actually come all the way to France for a service call on this old tractor. One of my good buddies back in the day, him and his wife actually inherited this estate several years ago, and they're making a very valiant effort of reviving this property. And when I say this property and estate, it's got a castle with a dungeon and a moat. The dungeon itself is about 700-800 years old. Castle on top is about 400 to 500, give or take a couple hundred years. I think this shop and tractor are probably the newest thing on the property besides, I don't know, maybe me. Anyway, this old Case tractor, they told me about it. It's been parked up for several years, and only information they could give me on it was one of the gardeners, I believe, drove it for a little bit, and they said the clutch was acting up. I don't think this old girl's got a clutch, but it is a Case, mid-90s. I figured piece of cake, get it running. Case always ran a Cummins. Didn't matter if it was a skid steer, skip loader, backhoe, same thing plus the hoe. Anyway, they always ran a 4-cylinder Cummins. Not this round. 95, 96, and 97 of the wheel loaders, they ran, I think it's a Perkins engine. We'll double check once we get in there. But we got to get all these boards torn off the top of it. I think we'll get it running pretty decent right off the bat. Old mechanical rotary pumps, pretty hard to kill, but we'll figure out if the drivetrain's going to need anything else, maybe, or some parts, maybe get something before I leave town. We got a battery. Let's go ahead and start getting these boards off of it, check the fluids, and see if this thing will crank. Here is the first look of the abandoned wheel loader before we basically remove the tomb from it. I don't know why they put these boards in a teepee formation all over this machine, but from the current owners, they told me that this has been in here and not moved from what they've remembered since 2018 when they moved here. It has not been fired or moved. Stories may change back and forth from new information we get here and there, but that's the latest and greatest. I can tell that there is a battery that looks slightly old laying on the floor and a newer-ish one put in the machine, leading me to believe that somebody came out here at one point in time and tried to get this thing running. Maybe did, maybe didn't. Good attempt or a failed attempt, I'm not sure. But it has clearly been sitting for a good amount of time, and it has plenty of hours on it. You can tell just purely by the seat. I think might have done it a good favor by leaving this machine inside the barn for the last 7 years. Kept it out of the sun from, kept it from falling apart even more. But all in, it is a nice wheel loader. I'm going to guess around 12,000 pound range. Drain pan with either oil or diesel in it. You get a lot of smells of all of that right now. Well, first thing we're going to have to do is dive into this thing and find out where the dipstick is, because that is not a Cummins engine. It is definitely it's a Perkins engine. Yeah. A little bit different than what I'm accustomed to, but it's still a diesel. It's a mechanical power. We're going to get this stuff cleaned off of it, get it out of here. Check out the injection pump. Looks like an old rotary mechanical. Not my favorite, but it's mechanical, so that makes it one of my favorites. It'd be nice if this thing had a Cummins badge on it, but we will figure it out. Well, that was a bus of struggling to find that guy. Well, it's like right in the middle, so that's good enough to dance with, I'll tell you that. Alright, if I tell you, it is like a different level of cold here. It's not freezing, but it should be. Get in there. Yeah. Okay, we got all the boards off of both sides. This tire's a little lower in air than I really like to see, but that's even lower than I like to see. A hydraulic oil tank. You can tell because that's where the hydraulic oil filter is. That thing's actually in English. At least part of it is. You know? So, we're gonna proceed forward, try to get the other battery out and see if we can find out any date on it. The battery that was sitting on the floor had no info. I don't even know if the new battery, the Varta that I just got, the Blue Dynamite, Dynamic, damn it. It doesn't even have a battery date on it. As far as I can tell, I don't have gloves. You see that on there? I know it's cold, but oh, that one's a little light too. Oh. Need to get in there. Hopefully the old Leatherman releases those. If not, I'm gonna have to find a socket set. Oh, it's loose. All right. Oh, they're both loose. Okay. Now we can get it out. I don't think they charge the core for that other battery. Come on, give me a date. Dang it. It would have a chance at life again. Body ground. We can confirm that one needs to be. Oh, they even have it on here. That's nice. Now, I gotta take my hat off to get in there, Billy. Okay. See the keys in it. That's not much. Where's the glass? Oh, this thing's all bent. Glass used to be there. Somebody smoked that on a stump. Okay, let's see. Oh, we got lights. Before I do anything, I want to see the hour meter. Oh, wait, what's this? Oh, it's got 9,600 hours. All right. Old girl's cranking. Stop cranking. Why is that loose? That's alarming. Okay, let's go see if we're getting fuel. I know we're gonna be a minute before we get fuel. We need a crescent wrench. Start with a simple one. See if the fuel is in the filter. See some moisture coming out. Oh Lord. I need a crank on her. I'm gonna need a socket set for sure. And at least a crescent. I like wait a second before it lets you crank it. Huh, very quiet cranker. It's over here. And the primer's right there, so we're gonna give it some of the old prime action. There's your, I would assume, your forward and reverse solenoid. We'll do this a couple times, go to the other side and see if we got any oil cover. Do this a couple times and see if we got any fuel coming out the bowl. Can't tell. I think we're gonna have to go find some diesel. Well, she's loaded with diesel. And we're losing the sun. We're gonna go grab some tools. He's got a socket set, Stanley, Husky, one of the two. And hopefully at least a pressing wrench. We can bleed some injection lines. It's starting to smell a little bit like fuel from like the 20 seconds I've cranked it. So let's walk over here. So check this out. This is a big building that I was in right here. Look at this thing. And then more firewood. And these are the horse stables. I haven't even been in that. Haven't been in that. I've been in the shop. Well, the woodworking shop. And then there's more horse stables, and then there's a big building. I don't even know what that is. Yeah, we got some tools. It's funny because they're all metric in the toolbox. I don't know if the tractor's going to be all metric, but you know. Let's try a 17. Oh, got it. Well, let's see if we're even getting fuel into this thing. Just pumped the primer for a while. Fuel level's about right there. Primer thing might not be everything we're hoping for. Oh well, I guess we'll check it without it there. I probably pumped it 200 times. I don't know if that's working. All right. Look at this. It's funny. I asked for a 5-gallon jug, and they're like, we don't got 5 gallons. We got liters. I was like, well, give me 20 liters. I actually asked for 40, but that's all the shop that the tractor guy in town had. So it's been several days since we tinkered with this. Other obligations we had to attend to. But I did get some more information, not only on the tractor, but also on the hangar, the shop that we're in right now, and the rest of the property. Not the square footage of it, because that's still super unknown, but this property was abandoned in the 70s. So anything that was done to this place prior to the current owners, my buddies, there was nothing that really went down. So this building was built before 1970. Then it sat abandoned for 10 years on the market before grandfather bought it. And this tractor here, talked to the guy that owned it, and he abandoned it here and said if you can get it running and driving, it's yours. But we actually got some information on it. Originally, I heard through the translations from French to English that it didn't move. And that's what they thought. So the guy didn't want to move it out of their hangar and get out of the way, so they just left it. But now he's saying, yes, it does run. It's been over a year since he started it, that he can remember. And it moves forward and back, but as soon as you use a loader arm, it won't let you move the drivetrain. So what I'm thinking, there's a button that you normally hit to basically put the machine in neutral so that your throttle pedal is still revving the engine without moving the undercarriage so that your loader arm can go up and down with a higher idle so that it moves faster. So what we're going to do today, we still haven't got it started. We just need to hear that information. So we're going to see if we get fuel up here. I don't know why we're not getting fuel. I'm thinking maybe there's like a shut-off or something, I'm hoping, and not just a cracked fuel line. But we got a light today, so you and I both can see what the helicopter I'm doing. And it's still cold in here. I can see my breath every time I say anything. Got my water, and we got oil. Hydraulic oil. It says lubricant. Yeah. Let's get to work. With some cardboard so I can crawl underneath there. I came up here to see where the fuel line went. It's really weird being primitive and not having any real tools here, but the fuel line goes to this guy right there, so that's I don't really see any reason why that would be an issue. Well, got this. That's diesel. Oh my god, that's terrible diesel. Get back on there. Had to cut that. It happened to be somebody actually was smart and put a barb fitting on there. I gotta get this back on there. But we got diesel right here. Oh, come on, baby. It's cold. I can't get it. Need a torch. I'll light a torch on the castle. Get this front of a mother trucker. That is... that's a diesel tinge that... well, it's better than gas. I don't know how their gas tastes here, but I know what their diesel tastes like. Come on, baby. We don't need no air bubbles. You gotta remember, can't break my hose clamps either. Woo! That was rough. Come on, baby. Show me some fuel. What I should do is take the fuel filter back off. Do nothing yet. Dang it. I have to get a... where have they got an air hose? Here, leaf blower. I'm gonna hook the battery up and crank on it and see if it'll do anything. We're not getting any fuel out of that pump. The fuel pump is just not delivering. I don't know if it's the fact that it's not primed up. Can't prime itself. I'm gonna see if they got a leaf blower. Found a Mentos in my pocket to get rid of that diesel tinge. Put the leaf blower in here, pressurize the tank, force fuel up there. Really like to keep the mechanical pump. That way you don't have any, well, you can get an electric pump. I highly doubt that we'll be able to get a mechanical one in time. Only here for another couple days. When DC the battery, see if I can get a leaf blower. Okay, I found a leaf blower. Big old corded backpack Ego unit. And just for reference, if you want to go anywhere on this property, it's equivalent to walking to like town. So I had to walk all the way back around the big buildings, around the stables, into like the tool room. And I found this one. I thought it was a, well, it's got a cord on it, so I didn't even look at it twice. But it's got a backpack. So let's see if this thing will do what we want. I'm gonna pump it and pressurize the tank. I'm gonna have to take that fuel pump apart. I don't want to do that to it. Well, essentially I just walked back to town to get screwdrivers. I grabbed a whole bunch of them. Oh, that's a good start. Okay, yeah. Looks like there's a new seal in there, or it's got a butterfly style. Oh man, I gotta take that one off to get to it. Okay. Well, she's getting fuel right there, folks. Let's see. Well, the soft line's pretty much a hard line. Oh, that thing is... oh, that would do it. That thing is stuck in the up position, so it can't cam down. That works. Oscillates up and down. Let's figure out why this thing's not doing what we want. It's acting like there's no fuel getting in through it. Glad that works, but it's a bummer this ain't gonna work. Well, running out of patience a little bit and running out of battery power on this rig, and I just talked to a buddy, and they don't even have a battery charger here. You got to take it to the tractor shop down the street to have him charge it. So I took the fuel pump off, make sure everything was working in there, and I shortened the fuel line, rerouted it, took a big old loop out of it. I can siphon fuel up here, but since I don't got much battery left, I'm going to try the mechanically doing the actual armature. Maybe that throws a little bit harder, but the baffle in there looked good. Got me. I'm going to take this off, siphon it into the rig, and then hopefully I can get this back off there. Then I'll know I'll have fuel right there now that this is down. It's flowing. We got fuel. Yes. Jeez. Okay. Let's get this mofo back on there. Didn't have a gasket. That's a neat trick. Well, we're out of the hangar. I got my little rental car. This thing's a cockpit. Start. You gotta hit some stuff, turn some stuff off, and we're gonna drive to go get the battery charged because there's not a battery charger on the property. And I don't want to go to Costco by myself because I don't speak French. So we're gonna go over here. This thing's probably gonna throw a fit at me, even though we're only going right around the block. Put the belt on. But watch out close. This the tractor guy is apparently his price is a little high to get stuff fixed, and this tractor obviously can't fit there. But zigzag these little streets, roundabouts instead of stop signs and stuff. Get on your side of the road, little tiny car. Make sure they're going straight. Okay, now I gotta buy a fuel line off this chap. I don't speak French, so I gotta buy a freaking fuel line off him. Little tractor guy right here. Oh, nice, I can park right there. Well, we're gonna try. He only had 2 rolls. It's like a lawnmower shop. So he said we try. And he's got my battery, he's gonna charge it. This is very primitive. Where are you going, car? Can't you see him backing up, fool? Yeah, there's not a chance getting that on there. I'm just gonna have them take this back. They say nope, too small, have to order something online. Crap. So I got fuel coming over here, but I lose prime because that hose has got to be crap. But I was hoping I can get this on there. It's like 1/8 inch. I need like 3/8, 1/4 inch at least, 5/16 probably. I don't know that's metric. Doesn't make any sense here. Shit. I somehow got it on there. It's installed. It's just, well, I mean, it's just loosely put on there. This fuel pump, if it's got fuel to it, it'll be fine. But I think the check valves in it aren't working because it's not holding pressure. So everything just goes gravity back down to the freaking tank. Super, honestly, I'm covered in diesel. Mechanical fuel pumps like this are typically not this difficult. But somebody's already monkeyed with this, and I discovered that it's not the correct one from factory because this guy hits the intake. So I bent it with my Leatherman so that I can actually get a full draw, because before you could just move it like this, so just barely moving at all. But now we got a full rip on it, and I've had it pumping. I pumped fuel to the filter, which I should probably put that back on there. I just went and took my rental back over to the house because I want to get diesel all over it. So I better put the air cleaner back on. Come on, little sucker. It just it's a good test doing something like this. Being in a foreign country, to me, I can't speak the language, and trying to keep stuff on budget. But at the end of the day, we just need a $10 electronic fuel pump. That would have saved me wearing diesel. Where'd I put the filter? Kind of get this thing back together a little bit so that it's freaking ferret doesn't come in here. Apparently that's the thing, ferrets around here. So I don't know what their Amazon turnaround time is here, but Amazon needs to be visited because we need an electronic fuel pump, to say the least. This mechanical one is just not doing what we want. Okay, so we just drove about 30 minutes to Autobacks. Some stuff with RTV at the end. Well, what do you call that? Autobacks didn't have what we needed. That was what'd you say we got in there? Learned a lesson, that's it?
We may have ended up buying the same stuff on Amazon for half the price.
Yeah, and it's gonna be here tomorrow. Didn't know Amazon could do that here, because the other stuff we looked at said it wouldn't be here till February. So we should have ordered it on Friday. It would have been here by now. But did get a battery charger, so he doesn't have to go back over to, what's his name? What's his shop?
I don't know his name. Julian's shop.
We haven't go over to Julian's shop no more. And we got a pump that you can, for a boat. Hey, look at that. That is the tow rig we saw earlier. It is actually pretty sweet, except for it's a van towing it. Taylor's grandpa's motorhome on the front of that thing. Okay, so this is my idea. See if it works tonight. The Amazon stuff's supposed to be here tomorrow, which is very surprising. I can already feel it working. I don't know if I needed it down here or up there, but we'll figure it out. I don't know. Okay, so we are getting fuel out of that one when he's cranking. Let's see if we can get this one. Okay, go ahead and crank on it. Oh, that one's splattering. All right, hand. Got two of them throwing fuel. Literally the $15 little hand pump acting as a check valve, keeping fuel up towards the mechanical pump. Okay, go ahead and see if she'll light. Okay, hang on. What is all that? I know the starter's getting a little spicy. Oh, it's diesel on it. Okay, it tried to kick a second ago. Let me make sure that the air is all good over on that side. Okay, let's see if it'll start. You crank on it a little bit more. Go ahead. Tap it. Come on, baby. Finally, holy shit. Ha! That one little freaking fuel pump. Yeah. Motor arm on it. I'm excited. I don't know what to do. Okay, before we get too ahead of ourselves, make sure the fuel line's not like on the muffler.
Yeah.
All right,
We'll just be found here in the morning, dude.
Yeah. Dude. Oh, I can't believe that one little fuel pump is. Maybe we don't even need that shit from Amazon.
Well,
It fires right up. Let's check that fuel line real quick. Because I had it routed so that it wasn't going to be in the way, but then I had to take it off 20 times, so we'll just duct tape that on there. And that's not even on there all the way. That's loose from trying to, spoon feed some degreaser down it, because that's all they had. Really medieval. Okay, so hang on, I'm going to take this off.
yeah, I'll need that come fall time.
Yeah. Let's see. I'll put the fuel cap on it and see if it moves just a little bit. All right, you ready?
Yeah, if you hear me screaming, then we're getting close.
That like brakes. Let's see if it even moves, because I can. What?
Oh shit. There goes our parking brake.
It runs and drives.
Yeah.
The loader arm functions without getting messed up with the travel motors, like the guy was talking about. But we need to add hydraulic fluid to it and just make sure we're not going to burn down, because I've been spitting diesel literally all over this engine trying to get it prime. We'll do that when the sun comes out tomorrow.
Yeah.
But this is a very big win.
I'll say. This has been sitting here for as long as I've been at the chateau.
Which is 1,600 years.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Just that little pump. And we'll check the leaks more. But, all right, now we can tell Daphne that we actually succeeded on something.
Nice.
Yeah, dude.
Solid.
All right, I'm going to disconnect the battery, make sure it don't burn out.
Sounds good.
Fire's right up, too. Ian decided to join the show. Just stroking that graffiti right off of there. Starting with the...
Let's just say it rhymed with Mick.
Stroking the Mick. Oh! We're on the sight glass. We didn't use, where's the lid? We didn't use all of it.
Yeah, no, go for it.
We flew over to what I thought was going to be a paradise island in the Bahamas. We ended up in this hangar that is below freezing, working on this wheel loader that nobody told us the full story on, because they said it ran and drove. Threw a battery in it, didn't start up. It didn't even have fuel coming to the injection pump. The engine wasn't getting fuel, so I chased it for 3 days. Ultimately, after checking all the fuel lines and everything, it's got a bad, in a way, bad fuel pump. So I'll show you how I fixed that. So here's a problem with the dry climate with high moisture condensation in Ireland, France, Bahamas. If you leave the floor mat on here, it starts eating it in layers. I'm hovering over the fuel tank right now. If you ever had a little boat, you might recognize this turkey baster fuel pump. This will prime the fuel system so that you got fuel to the engine. That's all we needed, was to be able to prime the fuel pump that's on the engine so that it could actually hold pressure, because the check valves in the pump no longer doing what they're supposed to. So we put this little $15, $20 turkey baster fuel pump in there. You just pump it by hand, pumps fuel up, doesn't let it go back to the tank. I'm going to put these hose clamps on it so it'll stay on and not have a fuel leak. And ideally, you can turn the lights on in your shop. It's not the case here, so cell phone power. This is a good one for you. They'll find humor. Step into my office. Check out this master mechanic toolbox that I have here.
Yeah, dude, that's the like the $12.99 special.
Well, I'll tell you, between that and these random wrenches I harvested out of your toolbox and a screwdriver that doesn't even have a tip, Harry Pottered this bad boy into life. And one fuel pump from a auto parts store that was 3 counties over.
That's how you do it.
Okay, now. Obviously, we remember last night we got it running for the first time. Today I went back over it and double checked, make sure we weren't leaking anything out of the fuel lines, tightened all the fittings. We're all good. Listen to how it starts now. Slightly better. So I think what we need to do is get all the tools cleaned up, see if it works now that we got daylight, and if that all works, you need to air up these tires and put this thing to work.
Oh yeah.
That work?
Yeah, here, let's, so that's good. Now,
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our maiden voyage with the wheel loader. Bucket moves up and down, curls in, rotates. We're gonna have to bleed the brakes, but we gotta get it out of here. We just gotta try it. Well, there the baby is out in the light. Getting some PSI in these tires. That one looks a little light. This one looked really bad. It was actually tilting the machine over. Just got the air compressor hose just wadded up in there on the trigger. This one's needing some, and that one looks okay, but I guess the front end is sitting down, so no weight on it. So everything's in bar, so I have to do some calculations. We'll go a little bit more. Tiny compressor, so can't expect the world out of it. 5 minutes. Look at that. Somebody's MacGyvered these pins. The other side doesn't even have a first time seeing the light. You start to discover new stuff. I knew the glass was gone. Somebody smoked the door on a tree or something bent. I don't know. I don't know if that's bent, but anyway, this one doesn't have a keeper bolt. The bucket's clearly got some miles on it. The wear bar is gone. Yeah, I know somebody smoked that thing on a tree. Things. No, maybe not. Either way, they broke the glass. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the tractor is running and driving again. We're gonna go through and try to figure out some of the stuff that we can do around this property while I'm here and use this machine. But it's a treat to see it out and about. We have talked about this machine for quite a while, and I can see some stuff right now I need to address before we do anything, because it's a little bit alarming, some of the stuff that it needs. But there you guys have it. I would say it still needs quite a few other knickknacks, like I just mentioned, but it does have a motor that runs and loader arm went up and down, so I'm very excited. Such a reward seeing it out and about. That was a struggle, and it was a simple, legitimate fix that it still needs to be fixed properly, but we got running and driving again. That was a fight. I'm gonna end it here, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you would have done different trying to get this bad boy out of the barn.